So, hi, Terry. Welcome.
Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing well.
Um, so, ESPN Deportes Digital special project for Hispanic Heritage Month is called Latinas in the WNBA Past, Present, and Future.
Mhm.
And you are one of our special guests, Terri Acosta. You represent a more diverse present and future for the WNBA since in 2019 you became the first Latina head athletic trainer in WNBA history
Mhm.
when the New York Liberty hired you.
Yeah.
Um, what does that mean to you?
Being working with the league in itself was always a dream, and then to the be named the head athletic trainer was just something that, for me, is obviously something that I worked so hard for, and just really, really wanted the opportunity to do, and to be able to excel in it. So each day, I take each day, I don't take it for granted, that's for sure. And daily, I'm just, the ins and outs of athletic training, especially with the New York Liberty and my athletes. I'm just trying to give my all to them. So that way, you know, I put my best foot forward for them, and then hopefully it, transfers onto the court and what they do, for the worldwide audience.
And I know this is a very basic question, but for people who may not know, what exactly a head athletic trainer does, can you explain?
Sure. So what I do with the team, I mean, on the daily grind, coming in, I check in with the athletes. Basically, any ailments that they may have, injuries, sickness, anything, I pretty much manage from the get go. I'm usually one of the first people they reached out to, whenever and whatever it may be. So I cover a gamut of things, and then I connect them. I connect the dots for them, connecting them with our team physicians, telling our general manager and our coach basically what's going on, whether it's an injury that we need to tend to, or anything else. And then on the daily basis, I assist with prepping them for games and practices, whether it be taping their ankles, stretching, any type of therapy or rehab that goes into the process of just getting them ready. So it's a daily grind on a daily basis, but it's something that I thoroughly enjoy.
And tell us about your Hispanic or Latino, however you prefer, your heritage.
Sure. So I'm originally from San Antonio, Texas, and there is brought up. It is obviously in a very in a culture with the Mexican American background, and so all my life, you know, grew up for the majority part in Texas, and just daily, with my parents who and my sisters who were all still very close. We have our daily text messaging that goes out every morning, with all of us, wherever we may be. And it's just something that I've carried true with me, and into every aspect of my life.
Were there any celebrations that you guys had in a family setting?
Yeah, well, I mean, life is a celebration with us. I feel like any day and every day we celebrate the small victories and the big victories. But obviously, growing up, birthdays were amazing. I have two sisters, and we all had quinceañeras, and so that was awesome to be able to kind of go through that whole process of kind of showcasing what all a quinceañera does, and just showing family and friends the love and support that they provided up to that 15th birthday, and then moving on into what's considered adulthood thereafter. But overall, I do miss one thing I do miss from being back home. I miss all the weddings, and once again all the other quinceañeras that I've missed out on just being up here in New York. But like I said, life is a celebration with us, and we try to do it right on a daily basis, with whatever it is we're coming across.
The WNBA is I think one of the most inclusive leagues, I would say. But how much is left to do in terms of diversity, in terms of um, including more Latinas in the league?
I think every day is a process. If you look at our team, we cover we cover quite a few ethnicities, quite a few backgrounds, that come into play within New York Liberty, which is pretty awesome to see. whether it's from our players or our staff, and it's just amazing. As far as the Latinx community and just getting them involved, I mean, I've always come from the thought of if you see it, you can be it. And so for other people to see that and see me doing what I do, it's like, okay, you know, that there's that ability, that capability of being able to do that one day. So that's been very huge with me, and that's something where even back home, I'm still involved with the University of North Texas, our Latinx community there, and trying to reach out and trying to just get back to the community there with my alumni, just trying to help out in that, and just being a resource for those that go into the future, and hopefully, you know, accessibility into this realm if that's what they want.
And also, I think from past interviews that you've given, and you've been a really big advocate that you'd like to see more Hispanic representation, not only on the basketball court, maybe in marketing, finance, even the C-suite level.
Oh, definitely. I think, you know, the sky's the limit for sure. And I think just one, it's exposure, and exposure to the community that, hey, this is possible. And it's something that if you set your dreams for, and you know, and you put the work behind it too. I mean, it's definitely there within your reach. Once again, just to be able to advocate for that, and to be that person there as the head athletic trainer for the New York Liberty right now. And once again, just going back to seeing other people as they see me in that role, but then also being able to lift up others. So when they do reach out, it's one thing with trying to connect the dots to help assist in all of those different venues, and what I have accessibility to be able to bring my brethren up with me, and it basically help them out in the community as well.
How many years have you been an athletic trainer?
Well, I've been an athletic trainer since high school. I was an athlete in high school, played basketball, ran track, and was injured. And I joined, I was in the training room, found myself in the training room, and I saw this kind of career path that was really cool. So I actually joined as a student athletic trainer when I was in high school, and then continued on, went to University of North Texas and was a student athletic trainer there, and pursued my career and stayed in athletic training. So overall, I mean, if I count those high school years and everything, I've been doing this for about, you know, maybe 25, 30 years in total.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what are the struggles of an injured player in the league? For example, you handled a pretty important player for the Liberty. Sabrina Ionescu, right when she arrived, was injured in her rookie season.
Yeah, you know, with any of our athletes, we just basically we try to support them in anything and everything that needs to happen to get them back to the process. Obviously, when any athlete is first injured, it's pretty detrimental, because basically they've now seen, and especially at this level, you know, they're doing well on the court, and then all of a sudden they see this injury that kind of compromises to some extent the uncertainty of their future. And so then it's just kind of helping them fill the dots. Truthfully, it's connecting them with team physicians, connecting them with our physical therapists, other people that could just be a resource to them. And then we cover all aspects. That's one thing we pride ourselves there at the New York Liberty. I mean, we cover anything, obviously, from the physical aspect, but then also we also have like a hands-on and just offering assistance on the mental side as well, just to be able to prep an athlete to be able to get back to the court and to excel at the best of their ability. So to be there in that first moment, it is one of those things where usually the athlete sees me at what I consider just like one of those really down and out moments. But then from that point on, just to be able to be there for them and to assist them through the whole process to get them back to the court. I mean, it's really rewarding, but it's also something on a daily basis. You know, it's treated with a lot of tender care to help each athlete, because everyone is different.
Mm-hmm. What did it mean this year, this season, to see the first Mexican American player in the league, in the history of the league, Evina Westbrook?
You know, I think it's awesome to be able to, once again, you know, to celebrate just to celebrate a career path of someone who has made it to where they want to be. And then obviously, once again, I go back to the whole greater community of the Latinx community, to be able to celebrate that person. It's awesome. It's awesome to see that. I would love to see a lot more of that, and to be able to, to really cheer on all of the Latinx community that's able to make it to this level as well.
Did your family at all get into the hype? Now, this is on the men's side, but when Juan Toscano Anderson was draping the flag over his shoulders, with the Warriors going towards the title.
Yeah, I mean, they did. Actually, my family, they're not too into basketball, but it's funny how they do tune into certain things like that. So yeah, they were pretty excited and doing screenshots and sending it my way and stuff like that. Yeah, so it's always, like I said, it's always awesome to see the community excel, and just to really, one thing about the Latinx community, we're very much into like the familia of it, and trying to really hold true and build the rest of the familia up.
The first Latina or Hispanic player, however you want to say it was Rebecca Lobo.
Mm-hmm.
So she's the OG, if you will, and she's still going. So she kind of has spanned. She and Diana Taurasi have been sort of the past, right, the present, and the future in different ways.
Yeah.
And Diana, because she's still playing. But how special has Rebecca Lobo been in what she has contributed to the WNBA?
Oh, Rebecca Lobo being with the New York Liberty in the first years of the conception of the whole league too. I mean, it's been pretty awesome. She's also on our Ring of Honor, and it's cool. It's cool to see, like, whenever we have our ESPN games and she's there. There's still that little moment of me looking back when I was a kid, seeing her on TV and be like, oh wow, that's Rebecca Lobo. So I still do it. And so when she's there, I'll wave high from the distance, So it's cool to see. And it's awesome how her career path has evolved. I mean, she's such a strong voice for the sports world and the women's sports world as well. So, it has been awesome to see that. And once again, the fruition of her whole career to this point. And I look forward to seeing exactly what she does in the future too.
And Diana Taurasi, so she has won 5 Olympic gold medals for the U.S.,
mm-hmm.
but she's not afraid to say, I feel 90% Argentinian. Like she's
mm-hmm.
her, and that's something that that the WNBA has done so well, is
right.
in boosting players or just anyone in the community, in the WNBA, their mm-hmm. identity and celebrating it. So tell us about about how you see Diana Taurasi.
It's fun to watch her on the court. I mean, she's just amazing. I'm still in awe, when I'm sitting there on the sideline too, when New York Liberty is playing Phoenix Mercury, just to see her and watch her play. I mean, it's just outstanding. And then I think back to she did an interview at some point, sitting right next to one of her teammates, and someone was there and asked a question in Spanish, and I just still remember her answering back in Spanish, and that teammate looking at her like, where did that come from? Not necessarily realizing, basically the full compass of who she is, and she's not scared to show who she is, and on a daily basis. I mean, I do love that. I love seeing that, and she's got that fire. She's got that fire on and off the court, which is awesome to see. And I wish her continued success. She'll be one of those that'll probably play forever. Is what we're thinking.
I know. Who knows? Well, Sue Bird is retiring. We didn't think that would happen in a way. So she's the next one we have our eye on. But
oh, you'll be waiting a while probably.
Someday. I know. I hope she doesn't go. The GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
How do you think that your Mexican American heritage defines you?
On a daily basis, I mean, it's very much made me who I am. Once again, my upbringing back in Texas, with my parents, who are still a very strong influence in my life, my sisters, my whole family back home, whatever it may be. They've been there, they've supported me through the years, and they continue to support me. And they continue to be my biggest cheerleaders. And I think that's one thing, I talk about the familia, whether it's my immediate family or just, surrounding cousins or friends, high school teammates, everybody that's still, they're supporting me. So I think it's one thing that I take with me on a daily basis. And I try to do right by all them and make them all proud. And so that's one thing where, I just continue on with whatever I do on a daily basis, because I want to make my family proud of me, and I want to do right by them.
And do you think that, maybe you've said this already, but did your cultural values help lead you to the WNBA?
Yeah. I mean, just being brought up in once again, a very tight-knit family, and just kind of moving forward and be basically, growing up, my parents, both of my parents were very much, was like, stay on the right path. Let's be able to dream big and do what it is that you really want to do in life. And they instilled that in me when I was younger. And so I did. I dreamed big, and this is exactly where I wanted to be. I still have some other dreams that are out there, but we'll cross those bridges when they come. But as of right now, I'm living my dream in what I'm doing here with the New York Liberty as the head athletic trainer. And it's very much because my family was there, and they put that sense of just like, really believing in self and really doing what's right, for me and the world around me as well.
When you think of Hispanic Heritage Month,
Mm-hmm.
How would you put it into words? What does it mean to you?
I mean, I've said this a few times. It's family. It's the familia. It is that's one of the mainstays that stays with me. Even like you talk about, like our celebrations and the culture behind us. It's always about, getting together and celebrating each other and celebrating all it is that we do. So kind of moving forward into Hispanic Heritage Month, I mean, we're celebrating all of the Latinx community around us and whatever it is they've chosen to do. But then also, it's not only the immediate, but as you've said before, it's the past and then the future as well. Obviously, the past is what builds a lot of the Latinx community anyway, and so and we strive on that, but kind of building into the future. So that's one of the main things for me, just building that community and the familia around you.
And lastly, any final words of advice, of wisdom for the young Latinx women who may look up to you and want to follow in your footsteps to become an athletic trainer in the WNBA?
Yeah, I say dream big. I dream big. Really lean on your family. Lean on those around you that are there for you. Sometimes it's other people. Sometimes it's the community. Sometimes it's your people you go to school with. Sometimes it's just other people that definitely want to help and get you to where you are. But once again, it's that belief in yourself. So dream big and believe in yourself. And, you kind of do the ins and outs of it all, the discipline of the everyday of striving for your goals, and then basically manifesting that into your future.
And you said familia. Do you want to say anything in Spanish? Any message you have in Spanish for the ESPN people?
Oh, I mean, I haven't practiced, unfortunately, my Spanish. I definitely understand Spanish. So, any questions, my family just definitely, they all speak Spanish to me. But for some reason, I do the Spanglish back to them. So it's not something that
Did you grow up speaking some Spanish?
Yeah, yep. Everything. My parents and my grandmother, that's all Spanish towards me. So me entiendo, pero para hablar para atrás, así.
Muy bien. ¿Ves? You're hired. Estás contenta. Well, Terri Acosta, I mean, Hispanic Heritage Month recognizes the contributions of Hispanic Americans to the history, culture, and achievements of the U.S. And you, as a Latinx woman have undoubtedly made the sports world and this country a richer place. So thank you. And thank you for speaking to us.
Thank you so much.